96 rubies foretold a queen's destiny, a tiara that seemed to know everything in advance. Elizabeth received these stones as a wedding gift and lived for 96 years, a coincidence that sent chills through the royal court. But why do they call this the final tiara? What did it predict besides her lifespan? And what secret do these blood-red stones hold? This story, which unfolded before the eyes of the world, turns out to be far more fascinating than you ever imagined. Picture this: 96 rubies, each stone a shield against one illness. An ancient belief that the people of distant Burma chose to transform into a wedding gift for a British princess. And here's where the story gets spine-tingling. Queen Elizabeth II passed away at exactly 96 years old. Coincidence? Something mystical? Let's unpack this step by step. 1947. Princess Elizabeth marries Prince Philip of Greece. The whole world watches this wedding, the first ray of hope after the horrors of World War II. Gifts pour in from every continent, but one stands out. The people of Burma send more than just jewels. They send protection, encoded in stones. 96 blood-red rubies. According to ancient Burmese tradition, each stone acts as a shield against a specific illness. 96 afflictions that can never touch whoever wears these stones. No one back then could have imagined this number would become prophetic. The young princess, who didn't yet know she'd become queen in 5 years, received a gift that would protect her for exactly as many years as the stones promised. And then something fascinating happened. They displayed the rubies at St. James's Palace alongside the other wedding presents. Thousands of people walked past, admired them, photographed them. The stones gleamed under museum lights, but their true purpose remained unfulfilled. They never touched royal skin. They waited. 26 years. Imagine a jewel meant to protect, sitting in a case. A magical artifact, locked in a royal vault. And the rubies weren't alone in their confinement. Nearby sat the Nizam of Hyderabad tiara, another lavish wedding gift that the Queen wore just a few times in the early 50s, and then forgot about. Or did she? Documents reveal an unexpected turn. By 1973, the Queen had formed a plan. Bold, even daring by royal standards. 2 tiaras that no one had seen for decades. 96 rubies holding ancient power. Diamonds from the forgotten tiara of an Indian ruler. What if she combined everything into something completely new? The jewelry house Garrod received a once-in-a-lifetime commission. Creating a tiara for the Queen is already an honor, but creating one from jewels with history, uniting gifts from different peoples into a single symbol, that's art of the highest order. The craftsman based the design on classic Tudor roses. Not just flowers, heraldic symbols of the English crown that remember the times of Henry VIII. Each rose features diamond petals with a blazing ruby at its heart. The 96 protective Burmese stones found their place in a structure that carried the weight of several empires' history. The next owner changed the jewelry's fate. No, not the next one, the same one. Queen Elizabeth took 2 dormant relics and breathed new life into them. She wasn't afraid to dismantle gifts to create something more powerful. This was an act of creation at the royal level. The tiara turned out tall, dramatic, impossible to ignore. Rubies burned like drops of frozen flame between diamond roses. This was a statement piece, a manifesto in jewelry. The most important part lay ahead. 1975, the first state visit by a British monarch to Japan. A historic event demanding the perfect look. And the Queen chooses the new Burmese ruby tiara for its debut. The choice was brilliant. Japan, a country that understands the language of symbols, where every detail of ceremonial dress carries meaning. For Eastern culture, rubies aren't just red stones. They represent protection, power, connection to the divine. Burmese rubies held special value in Asia. People believed stones from the Mogok Valley possessed unique strength. When the Queen appeared at the official reception, the Japanese imperial court froze. The tiara sparkled beneath palace chandeliers, Tudor roses intertwined with ancient Eastern magic. This was a cultural bridge built from jewels. Photographs captured a pivotal moment, the beginning of a new era for this piece. The tiara stopped being merely a royal accessory. It became a tool of diplomacy. 2 years later came 1977, the Silver Jubilee year. 25 years of Queen Elizabeth's reign. Britain celebrated, and the Burmese ruby tiara became the symbol of these festivities. A gala evening at Covent Garden, the cream of British aristocracy, world celebrities, camera flashes everywhere. The Queen in her tiara with Tudor roses and blood-red rubies, an image that spread across every newspaper on the planet. This was the perfect blend of tradition and drama. But that's not all. The tiara went on tour through Commonwealth countries, Australia, New Zealand, Canada. Everywhere the Queen served as head of state, this crown appeared. Each appearance strengthened its legend. In 1979, it dazzled in Denmark during a state visit. In 1982, it welcomed the Queen of the Netherlands to London. A decade later, things shifted. The Queen found the perfect match for the Burmese tiara, the bearing ruby necklace. 2 sets of jewels created at different times merged in harmony. Red stones blazed at the Queen's neck and in her hair, creating an almost mythical image. The real turning point came later, the 1990s. Europe's map redraws itself before everyone's eyes. The Berlin Wall falls, the Soviet Union collapses, Eastern European countries search for new identity. And precisely at this moment, the Burmese ruby tiara receives a new mission. The Queen begins wearing it exclusively for visits to and from republics. A subtle diplomatic move understood only by insiders. Monarchy meets republican government not in an imperial crown, but in a tiara created from gifts of peoples. The symbolism worked on every level. Eastern Europe became the main destination. Poland, Czech Republic, the Baltic states, everywhere the memory of monarchy had been erased by communist rule, the Queen appeared in the ruby tiara. This was a gesture of reconciliation, acknowledging different paths of development. France, another republic with special status, also saw this tiara. The country that executed its kings received the British Queen, and she came not in imperial regalia, but in jewelry symbolizing friendship between nations. And here a new character enters this story, not a person, but a combination of jewels. In the 2000s, the Queen began pairing the Burmese tiara with rubies from Queen Victoria's crown. 2 generations of monarchs, 2 sets of stones, united on one person. The key moment arrived in 2001, a state visit from the King of Jordan. Queen Elizabeth appeared in full ruby splendor, tiara, necklace, earrings. All the stones worked as a single ensemble, creating an image of strength and continuity. A portrait for the Diamond Jubilee captured her in this tiara with Canadian honors. 60 years of reign, and a piece of jewelry not yet 40 years old had already become a classic. And then came silence. For almost 10 years, the tiara didn't appear in public. The Queen wore other crowns, other pieces, but the Burmese rubies stayed quiet. Experts wondered, what happened? Had the tiara gone out of fashion? Did the Queen no longer like it? Or something else? And now we reach the main point. 2019. A state visit from the President of the United States. The special relationship between Great Britain and America demands a special approach. And the Queen makes a choice that made everyone who understands the language of royal jewels hold their breath. The Burmese ruby tiara returns after nearly a decade's absence. But not just like that. The Queen pairs it with rubies from Victoria's crown, connecting generations. She adds the blue ribbon of the Order of the Garter, the highest honor of the British Crown. 3 levels of symbolism in one look. Friendship between peoples, continuity of power, highest honor. This was a masterclass in non-verbal communication. Without words, only through choice of jewelry, the Queen expressed all the complexity of relations between 2 countries. Republic and monarchy, new world and old, power and tradition, everything merged in one image. Questions about the future grew sharper. 2023. Queen Elizabeth is gone. Her time ended at 96 years, exactly as many as the rubies that protected her. The magic worked down to the last stone. Now King Charles III holds power, which means Queen Consort Camilla gains access to the royal jewels. The question hung in the air: which tiaras would the new queen choose? Would she wear Elizabeth's pieces or create her own style? The answer came at a state banquet for the President of South Korea. Queen Camilla appeared in the Burmese ruby tiara. First time on a new wearer, first time in a new era. And she didn't just put on the tiara, she created a new combination. Queen Victoria's ruby necklace, which Elizabeth often wore with this tiara, returned to play. Records from that time show the press reaction, delight mixed with relief. Tradition continues. The tiara lives, but the next appearance proved even more symbolic. A visit from Emperor Naruhito and Empress Masako of Japan. The country where the tiara debuted almost 50 years earlier saw it again. The circle closed. Queen Camilla chose for this occasion the festoon necklace of King George VI, grandfather of the current king, father of Elizabeth II. 3 generations of monarchs joined in one image through jewels. And now, the truth about what this tiara really means. At first, even royal experts didn't consider it outstanding. Too tall, too dramatic, too red. Another tiara, more classic, more restrained, was the favorite. But time changed perceptions. The Burmese ruby tiara transformed from an exotic novelty into an icon. People came to love it precisely for what they criticized: its boldness, its brightness, its impossibility to ignore. This isn't jewelry for quiet evenings. This is a crown that makes a statement. What really happened with this tiara over almost 50 years? It became more than jewelry. It transformed into a diplomatic instrument, a symbol of continuity, a living history of the British crown. Each appearance added a new layer of meaning. Now everyone wonders, when will Catherine, Princess of Wales, wear it? The future queen consort, who's already shaping her style. A tiara with such history, with such character, would perfectly suit a woman who must represent monarchy in the 21st century. The 96 rubies continue their work. They protected one queen throughout 96 years. Now they've passed to the next. Ancient Burmese magic met British tradition and created something eternal. The tiara that began as a wedding gift transformed into a bridge between eras, between cultures, between generations of royal women. And its story is far from finished. Ahead lie new state visits, new wearers, new symbolic meanings. The Tudor roses keep blooming in diamonds and rubies. And as long as the British monarchy exists, this tiara will tell its story. The story of how a people's gift became a crown of queens. The truth turned out far more beautiful. No sinister prediction, just an ancient gift from people who wanted to protect a young princess. 96 rubies, 96 years. Yes, the coincidence astounds, but it's simply an amazing twist of fate. The real magic lies elsewhere. The Queen transformed forgotten gifts into legend, created a bridge between cultures and generations. The tiara didn't predict, it protected and inspired. Impressed by this story? Then give it a thumbs up. It inspires new investigations. Click the bell to be first to discover the secrets of royal jewels. And definitely subscribe. So many incredible stories about crowns that changed the world lie ahead. Until we meet again with Royal Secrets.